I'm super excited to get us into these live speaker introductions and introduce you to the wonderful experts who are going to be taking us through our topics today. First, we have Desha Elliott. Desha has a successful track record of consulting on business development, strategic partnerships, and digital marketing for both growth stage and established companies. Her current role as local market manager for AOF bridges community and corporate partnerships and resources to small businesses. Next, I'm excited to introduce Jacquelyn Rodgers. Backed by her 14 years of consumer packaged goods experience, Jacquelyn Rodgers founded Greentop Gifts with a purpose: to create products that represent what the holidays look like for Black and Brown families. Since its launch, Greentop Gifts has received notable media attention from numerous outlets, including Essence, O, the Oprah Magazine, Good Housekeeping, and People. So great to have you, Jacquelyn.
Happy to be here. 'Tis the season.
Why is it so important to start prepping for the holidays early?
It really comes down to inventory planning, ordering, to have it on time, having the images you need for your website or your social. And all of those things should be done far in advance to help you ease into the season with servicing your customers, be online or in store or at holiday markets in a manner which you're serving them well and you can bring them joy. And I think the main part is the more prep, there's less room for error. And you can understand that everyone is looking for the same supplies and items that you're looking for. If it's bags or dough or flour or packing tape, waiting until the last minute leaves a lot of room for headaches. So the more prep that you can do in advance leaves less room for error and more room for sales. I'd say the devil's in the details here. You also want to look at, your prior year. What did you sell last year or the year before? And understand what your average order sales are, how many customers are coming to your site. I think that gives you a good base of where you're going to start for 2023. And looking at, okay, how many boxes, packing tape? Do I need UPS shipping labels? What supplies I need that you can get now so that you're not paying additional costs for express shipping fees, and understanding also if you're ordering inventory, we import a lot of products. So I have to deal with freight, I have to deal with customs, I have to deal with the logistics at the ports. And if you've done anything in the past 5 years and you've imported product, you know how much of a nightmare that can be. And so preparation and early orders of inventory are so key to help alleviate some of that stress. And allow you to get your inventory early enough so that you can check it for any damages, make sure everything is in place and accounted for before it's time to start shipping it.
How can you connect with your suppliers early? If you understand the kind of volume that you're going to be dealing with, the kind of delivery times that your folks are going to be expecting, how do you have those early conversations with where you get your packaging from, with where you're holding space for your products? And that way you're not trying to have those conversations last minute, and you can be able to deliver to your customers in a timely fashion.
I don't like to have a ton of inventory that just sits. So for me, I would err on ordering less and having this is a drop, this is a sale, get it while it's here, supplies last. Sometimes even telling them the number you have of the inventory, the quantity, so they can see the scarcity of it, as opposed to you ordering 500, 10,000, 100,000 because you get better margins on it and you're stuck with the inventory. And especially as a new business, until you really understand your customer and know what they're looking for, they may say, oh, well, I like that, but I need it in a travel size, or I like that, but it's too big to fit in my car. And then you have all this excess inventory and no usage for it. So I would err on less is more, and then you can say we sold out, we're going to reorder, but then you have sold all of the product, you made your money back, and then you are prepared for the next season, as opposed to being stuck with a garage, a storage unit, or a warehouse full of inventory.
How early should we get started? When is the best time to prep for the upcoming holiday?
It's year round. I'm working on Christmas 2024 right now, planograms and sets for a retailer. So I think that to say, if you're looking at retail stores, they're doing their buying typically in the spring of the year for December, because they want to get the product into their stores as early as, September, sometimes even earlier than that for holiday. If you're not looking at a mass retailer, you're looking at more independent stores. They buy typically in August at like the America's Mart or the Dallas Market trade shows. It's never the last minute. And if it is, they're looking to fill a void from someone who couldn't meet the demand of the supply or get the product on time. And so it's an early planning process, especially if you're doing any importing or you're getting any supplies from overseas. That can be 3 months of time. Plus, I like to give another 3 weeks of customs with production. So it's a far away advance. You can do it closer to the holidays, but then it comes in with cost of freight, air freight, or shipping that just eat into your margins. And so I always err on as far in advance as you can. There's some things that are not in your control, and there's a lot of things that are in your control. So the earlier you plan and prep and know what your factory's lead times are, you can also get better pricing. So I think it's better to err on early rather than when you think people are buying.
You could get away with planning your marketing strategy 3 months in ahead, but honestly, if you have at least 6 months of your marketing, and so that means what are you going to put across all your social medias? When does the email go out? And I know that we're having conversations about the big holiday season that is towards the end of the year, but many of us have many other kind of mini target focused holidays that maybe don't have such a big a splash as the holidays, but are still very relevant to our target customers. And so, is it best friend day, or is it, walk your dog day? Like, there are many holidays inside of that 1 year that, sure, you could put all of your energy and your focus into the big holiday season, but there are still other times where you can test and pilot, especially your marketing and where your audience is and your database and what's important to them throughout many other occasions.
I want to thank everyone for joining us today, for getting prepared, hopefully more for the holidays. I want to thank our partner, FifthThird Bank, for their partnership in these webinars. And I definitely want to thank Desha and Jacquelyn for their thoughtful responses and all of their expertise. And we thank each and every one of you for attending and hope you feel more prepared for the holidays. Thanks, everyone.